Hello and welcome to Accent. Before I start the program tonight, I would like to thank my viewers, the faithful viewers of Accent, and I would like to thank you for your emails, your telephone calls, for your suggestions and critiques, which I always needed, and that's a good feedback for me. As you know, Accent is a forum for dialogue and for bringing the community together, especially after all this that's going on in the world and in the different communities. And one of the missions of Accent is to introduce the Iranian-American community, our young generation, and their achievements, their contribution to this society, to their community, and also how they have been brought up and how they have coped with the two cultures, because most of them, not most of them, but at least many of them, they are from, one of the parents are American, the other Iranian, and that's what makes it so beautiful and sometimes also very tough for the children to be brought up with two different cultures and two different traditions. In that regard, I have my guest tonight, very interesting guest for many reasons, who is an Iranian-American, born to a native Iranian father and American mother. Maria Afsharian was born in Shiraz, Iran. She attended community school in Tehran, where she studied English and Farsi, and later she moved to Texas with her mother and sister. She has her degrees in business and public communications, and currently Maria works with Dateline NBC, where she has produced assisted over 100 nationally televised reports on various types of journalism, including investigative, business, consumer, feature, entertainment, and late-breaking news. She has been the recipient of several awards, and most recently a National Emmy Award for her work as a field producer on a special hour-long investigation on auto sales. She's an active member of Women in Film and Video and the International Television Association. And I would like to welcome Maria to Accent.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Maria. Well, you're not only a very interesting guest for Accent, you're also a very beautiful guest. Well, I believe one of the reasons I thought I invite you, and you're a very interesting guest, because first of all, you are from two diverse cultures, and this is one of the missions of this program to introduce. Another one is you're, I can say second generation, sometimes they call it generation and a half, I don't know where you fit, but anyway, those who have been born here or raised here and achieved and educated here and have achieved something. So in that regard, you're interesting to Accent, and many other things, and also your recent trip to Iran after 29 years of being brought up as American kid. So you can see, my audience, that she's going to be very interesting. Let's start from your upbringing. As we mentioned, your dad has been American. Or other way around.
My father's Iranian.
Iranian, I'm sorry, of course, your Afsharian is your last name. Your father is Iranian, your mother American. Tell us about your childhood.
Well, my father went to college in the United States, and he met my mother in Texas, and they married, and they went to Iran, and they started a family, starting with me. And
how many siblings you are?
I have one sister, a smaller sister. And I was born in Shiraz, and we.
You know, that's my hometown.
I know, and it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful
thank you.
City.
I haven't been there for many years.
Oh, okay. It's beautiful. But we lived in Tehran, and where my father's work was. Eventually, we went there, and I had a very happy childhood. Iran. I remember it being very family-oriented, and I felt very safe, and it was just a warm, loving country. And at that time, Iran and the United States, it was the time of the Shah. And I remember they had very good relations. And my parents eventually divorced, and we went back to the United States. And that's when the revolution
So
started.
let me ask you this. Since you're separated from your father, you did not have that much of experience of two parents, so you were basically brought up as American.
Yes, in America.
As American.
Yes.
So you really didn't have much of the Iranian culture experience until you went back to Iran. And
Right.
that was when?
I went back to Iran about 8 months ago.
Oh, that recent.
That recent, and it was after 29 years of not going there.
Wow, that must be quite experience.
It was. I didn't know really what to expect. I had heard a lot of stories about the revolution and, that you should be careful about this and careful about this. But when I got there, it was really interesting. It just didn't really seem that way at all.
How did it seem?
It felt very warm.
You didn't think it would be warm?
Well, when you hear the stories and you hear about the hardships that the Iran-Iraq
From the
war
media.
and from the media, and I work in the media.
And we both are in the media.
That's
so
right.
We know how it is.
That's right. So I had an idea about what I thought it would be. But when I got there, well, I have to say, when I got there, we had just finished working on Iraq footage, and I was like, oh my gosh, this place looks like the footage that we see. I can't believe I'm here, but it was great. I mean, it all slowly started feeling very, very comfortable.
Okay, I was reading your background, your biography for information for me, and I noticed that you're talking about everything. You're talking about that you had to learn to adjust to everything, from food to friends to family politics to everything. Could you elaborate that? Could you tell our audience what was the feeling of a 29-year-old Iranian-American who really didn't know Iran?
Well, I have to say the first thing is, even though Iran is comfortable in so many ways, it's very difficult. A lot of things are very difficult. They don't have big supermarkets. They don't have, it's not convenient, for a lot of things. So you have to really struggle and go out of your way. You can only go to the bank and get your money out in the morning, not in the afternoon. And you have to learn all of
because
these
of
things.
siesta.
Well,
everybody
you have
closes,
siesta, but also even when the bank opens up again at 5 o'clock, you had to do your work in the morning. So they just have set times for different things. Just anything, just even from how to cross the street, where how to learn how to drive.
Traffic.
The traffic was amazing.
Traffic is the worst. If they ask me what's the worst in Iran, I would say Tehran especially is traffic.
Well, in Shiraz, if you can drive in Shiraz, I believe you can drive anywhere. But it just learning the culture, learning how, what the right things to do, how family works together, how close the family really is, how much they really help each other. It was actually a really good feeling, and I had to let go of being so American.
Absolutely, that's the key.
Right,
that's
and
the key.
Learning how to depend on family. I'm so used to
being independent.
And being independent. I know how to do this, and I found myself leaning on the family and actually enjoying.
Because they know the way.
They know the way.
They know how to deal with everything.
They do.
Okay, some interesting aspects. Negotiating purchase. When you purchase something, I'm sure that's interesting to our non-Iranian audience.
Oh my gosh. Everywhere I went, I'm talking from the littlest thing to the biggest thing.
Bargain.
It's not just a matter of checking out. It's how much you're going to give me a discount. And they say mushtarak has that, that they are your, regular customer, so they have to give a bigger discount. And I didn't know how to do that, and it was hard for me.
How did you do it?
You
bought it at a
I
higher price, or you could get discount? What did you do?
Well, I'll tell you, my cousins would tell me, Maria, you have to do this, because if you don't do it, they won't respect you. And I thought, wow. So I tried a couple of times, and a couple of times I did. I was excited.
As far as food, were you introduced to Iranian food here before you go to Iran? And if you didn't, how did you like the food, and how did you handle?
We did not eat a lot of Iranian food here. I've eaten kebab, a lot here. I like that. But the food was amazing. It's healthy. It tastes good, and I have to really commend the women at how much there's a lot of work and time that goes into it. But I think what's beautiful, another thing about food that you bring it up, it's back to that old-fashioned thing about it's a reason for everybody to get together. And that's one thing that I noticed about Iran, is that you have a lot of chairs in the living room, and it's because people are talking and they build relationships with each other, and that was just, that was really nice.
You have said learning family politics. What did you mean by that?
Oh, well, speaking to one person and having just a casual conversation and then going to the next person's house, the next family member's house, and then they say, so, I heard that you went down to the store yesterday. So, you know, you learn that word travels fast in a big family. And just that they work within themselves a lot of times. They're very much, you know, that they help each other, and that
you meant that you have to be sometimes a diplomat, a politician among the family members. Is that what you meant by family politics?
Well, and you have hierarchies. You have people who are at the top of the family, and you have to respect them.
Isn't that a beautiful part of
is.
our culture?
It is. It's a beautiful thing, and you feel protected.
Older people have respect.
And another thing, they have like old-fashioned wisdom. And you know, I'm used to reading in Time magazine and this and that and about, you know, how to think correctly and do things correctly. And then you sit down with someone who just has life smarts and
has a lifetime experience of Time magazine and so on.
Yes, it's like this is the way we live and this is the right thing to do. And you know, you find yourself throwing all that other stuff away and saying, wow, this is great.
I can learn by life experience.
I can learn. This person, and you know, they've been through a lot. You know, they've had a hard time, and you see it on their faces. And as a journalist, I look for those things, and but they're just like everybody else. They want to know their husband likes them. They want their kids to get a good education.
As a woman, and as a journalist, how did you see the women in Iran, their roles, either single or married?
Gosh, that's a complicated question because it's different in every area, every family, every neighborhood. But
I like that complexity. I like you elaborate a little bit about it.
Well, you know, I can speak for my family.
Of course.
Most of the women do not work, but they are very respected in the family. They are the pillar of the family. They are the mother. They cook that food. They have that food ready. They keep the house running. And I didn't see disrespect at all. They were very strong-minded, very strong-willed. And the person who is at the top of our family is a woman. I mean, the person who
mostly that applies
everybody
to
goes
almost
to.
Every family. What about the younger generation who work?
The younger generation, I can say, they have got they've got quite a struggle because you have a lot of pay. You know, the pay is not that good. One of the girls in my family, she is a network engineer, and she makes 5 toman a day, which would be equivalent to about $4 a day. But the cost of living is so high.
Yeah, the cost of living is like here, but the income is not. That's the dilemma, right?
It's terrible, and you see so many dedicated young people, but they have no jobs waiting for them. They have, you know, they don't have anywhere to go. And I had mentioned to you that I'd gone to this university, and we had spoken on the phone, and I had gone to this university and spoken to some professors there. And we had a long conversation about that. Their best people end up leaving Iran because there's no place for them to work. So you have some great people who can't stay there because the pay and the economics.
How do women handle what we call it oppression here and the hijab versus what they accomplish? I hear that they have this tenacity and they have this will that in spite of the boundaries, they really do what they want to do and they flourish and they achieve. Can you elaborate on that?
I can answer that and say my impression was that they were beautifully creative with their hijab. When you're in Tehran, a lot of hair is showing out of the back, but it's tastefully done.
Even in front?
In the front, you have it going back, and you have short, you know, overcoats, but they still adhere to the custom. And you know, they personalize it. They make it their own, and they're doing the best with what you know, what the situation is, and they look great. Now, when you go to Esfahan, it's a little bit stricter.
Yeah, smaller cities always is stricter, and yeah.
So you can tell, it depends on what city you're in. But I, you know, from knowing the women there, they're very strong from the women that I came across. And, you know, they definitely do what they have to.
In a little time that we have, I'd like you to tell me about your trip to Shiraz, and I believe that you approached the healthcare and you did something about cancer. Could you just quickly give us an overview of that?
Well, my father, in our family we have lymphoma, people who have passed away from lymphoma. And I, as a journalist, I wanted, you know, I'm curious, and so I said, what is going on? You know, is this a problem? And I went and I visited the university, and they said that indeed it's a terrible problem, and they don't have, you know, enough facilities or help because of the situations with our governments and such. But I was able to organize a bunch of people, and we were able to buy, you know, they bought chairs for the hospital.
In Shiraz?
In Shiraz.
Which hospital?
It was Sadi and
Sadi and Nemazi?
It was the children's ward, and I went and visited the children.
How wonderful.
And no, it was great, and it's amazing what a little thing that you can do there, and just not with money, just being there, and the things that we know, that we've learned here about a can-do attitude, that you can get things done. And they're so appreciative of it, you know, and I was so glad to be able to organize that. And
that's wonderful. That's quite an achievement.
Well, I hope we can do more. I do.
I'm sure you can do more. Just quickly, what was your expectations before going to Iran, and what really you saw? If you can say just in a sentence or two.
I thought it was going to be a very restrictive environment, but I found it to be a very warm, welcoming environment that made me very proud. And
Did you learn anything from this trip?
I learned that people around the world are really the same, and Iran is an amazing country that I hope that a lot of people get to learn more about.
I know that you have brought pictures, videos, and your own experiences, probably friends, families from Iran. And I would like to show the audience in our second segment, which we call it Expressions. We're going to show those things.
Right.
And I want to thank you for being here. And if there is anything before we go that you would like to say, you're welcome to say. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you came here, and I hope I have you more on the show. And as an Iranian-American, I really, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And all the generation like you that, you know, and you are in the media, and I'm sure you can contribute a lot to the Iranian-American community.
Thank you so
Maria.
much. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And please stay tuned for the second segment, which is going to show Maria's videos and pictures from Iran. Thank you.
نه سلام 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 نوی خوبی؟ سلام فرمانه خوبی؟ ببخشید من خیلی دوست دارم. سلام شیده، سلام موزه، سلام نازی، سلام آزاده، سلام. Hello, how are you? نزدیک شما بهتره؟ سلام سیما.
سلام، حال شما خوبه؟
بله، سلام داری.
جای مالون خیلی سبزه.
سلام شوره. این چیه اینجا؟
یکم زخم شد. آقا دکتر البته که تون میرم بزنیم.
خیلی قشنگه. سلام. سلام. سلام آقا.
خوش آمدید.
سلام میدار. سلام نادر. سلام نادر.
مایلا چطوره جنه؟
نمیدونم. من زنگ زدم برای هیچ کسی اونجا بود.
نبود. What was the last time که آخر بار که؟
یک روز و نیم. خیلی نه ولی میترسم. سلام بابا. سلام قاضی. سلام تعویض. سلام دکتر. سلام آقا. بگو سلام. 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 عمو. خانم. ماریا. تاجی. ایزه بگو سلام. سلام. امه سلام. ندیدم ببخش. بله بله
بریم چی بخوریم؟ کلام پلو؟ ایتی چیه؟ بذار عکس بگیر نیما
شیشش دارم هنوزم جلدش.
حالا من با شیشش میدم.
شیشش دارم. ببینید توش کاغذه که معمولا همه قرصا یه صورتی که توش از ترکیباتی شده و اینا.
بفهمه نه بفهمه
کمان جانه
چقدر کار
خیلی کار میکنن همشون با
سلام سلام آقا ببخشید
وای دستتون درد نکنه دستتون درد نکنه خیلی مرسی
سیما
What do you say? I kill you.
با هم
Okay, that way. You go that way. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This is kebab. This is khorosh. This is more chicken. Over there, the dish. Come in. They bring it. That's better. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you.
دکتر خیلی خوشگل
دختر خوشگل. Okay. One each. Just one. Yeah.
ببخش ولی شما خیلی خوشگل
شما خیلی خوشگله.
بگو سلام این پرده بگو سلام
سلام.
خب مرسی
Okay, thank you for watching. Hope you liked this second segment of Maria's experience in Iran. And in this section, I would like to mention two names of the viewers that either emailed me or called me. One is Parveen from Alexandria, which I believe she's watching MHZ because Alexandria definitely is MHZ. And she's saying that she's very happy that Accent is on that channel, and she has enjoyed the show. And thank you very much, Parveen. The other one is Marie from McLean, and she has watched the show on Channel 10, which is from here. And she's saying that the diversity of your show is excellent. You have people from different walk of life, and we hope that it goes on. Thank you very much, Marie. I'm sure with the support of the community and people like you, it will go on. And I will do my best to give you a better quality show every time. Also, I wanted to mention the website that you can go and learn about Accent, www.zoetalk.com, and watch Accent on MHC Networks also every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. and of course on Fairfax Public Access 3 times a week, Monday, Thursday, and Saturdays. And also I would like to mention Galleria Florist for the beautiful flowers that every time they donate to this show. Thank you very much. Stay healthy and happy, and always be proud of who you are. Until next week, thank you and good night.